everybody, it's Michelle LaVore and
Devin LaVore
coming at you. And
I just love to say that.
It's
been a long time coming at you, and it just doesn't get old for me.
Yeah.
Does it get old?
No.
It just doesn't get old.
It's just kind of fun.
I love it. I'm going to say it for the next 28 years. Oh, 28 coming at you. Anyway.
But first we wanted to just say a big welcome to all the new subscribers.
Yes.
And we're just so glad that you found us.
Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, we just hope that you
have
guys
a little spiritual pie.
Are blessed and encouraged by this channel. And you're hilarious.
I try. Oh, I'm not even going to edit this part out. Just keep on going.
All right. So,
Go with the flow.
huge welcome. And we just pray that you guys are blessed. And that God just uses what He says through us and what He does in our life to encourage you as you walk with Him on the journey. And
what
also,
a great journey it is.
A huge thank you to everyone who has just been giving to us and just blessing us, especially this month. And we just so really appreciate all of you. And if you would like to give to us, there is a PayPal link below.
Because there's a lot of other things you could do with your money in this month. And we're just blessed and blown away that you guys would just, just that God would put it on your heart and you would actually would give to us. It's just, it's so hard to put into words, but, we'll start with thank you.
Yes. And so, just another little side note today is we've been marks our 1 year of being in Nashville.
1 year,
y'all. We moved here December 18th of last year, and so it is just it's so unbelievable.
Got here at 8:44
p.m.
Yeah,
and so tonight we actually did a little celebration. Everybody's like, "Woo, yay!" 8:44 came around, and we're just like, "Hey, we've been here a year, guys." Kind of like a happy
And I
New
just
Year.
happened to notice it right at 8:44. I just happened to be right in front of the clock and was like, "Oh my gosh, it's 8:44."
Yeah, and
Yay.
so it's just I don't know. And so we took some time tonight, just kind of thinking back over this year, and it really has just been a miracle year for us in the sense of just God has carried us this entire year.
It's been amazing.
And what He said before we left Nashville, or before we left Kansas City to come to Nashville.
Wait, that's not a prophecy, is it? No, I'm just kidding.
Before we left was that, the waters of adversity would not touch us. And that has been true.
Jesus.
And it's just been...
It's been more than true.
It's just, there have been so many times amazing. That God has taken us, we're literally on the edge. And it's like God comes through and provides. And
by the demonstration of His faithfulness to His word, it has built up our faith. Now, because what is it? Lana Voster came out with a word or a little post-it or something, or maybe someone else did and she reposted it. But it said, we have faith because He is faithful.
Yeah.
And that hit me. I mean, you see a lot of stuff on Facebook, but that really hit me wow, that is so true. Our faith in this past year has been built up so much because of Him.
Yeah.
It's like we love Him because He first loved us.
Yeah.
We have faith because He's faithful to His word, and it's like you might be freaking out.
Yeah.
When you take the leap,
Yes.
what I mean? And you might get scratched up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You might it might not turn out the way you thought it was going to turn out. That happened to us the moment we got here.
Yeah.
We were just like, okay, God, what are you doing? When are we getting in our house? In a week? 2 weeks? A month? Okay, that's fine. You want to wait till the new year? Okay, I got you. He's like, yeah, I do want to wait till the new year. The end of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're believing for anyway. But either way, it's like God has been faithful through the disappointment, through the confusion, through the frustration, through the God, what's going on? You know what I mean? And it's just like, but then, and then he's just been piling on revelation and chiseling things and forming us. He's been working out the blueprint the whole time. Yeah. That's a video we made even before we moved to Nashville, like back in November or October or something. I was like, oh, he's been working on this blueprint the whole time. Because that's what God does. He operates. He's not just fly by the seat of his pants kind of guy.
No.
It's a little Pretty Woman reference there. Anyway, he's working according to a plan that he established before all human beings were created.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, that's the way he is. That's how he is. He's outside of time. And that's something that I don't think we can really understand. We can kind of imagine maybe a little bit of what that's like, but, you know, God doesn't just see us. He sees all of reality like fish in a fishbowl. You know what I mean? He just sees all of it.
Yeah.
You know, that's why he can prophesy about something that's going to happen 2,000 years from now, you know, to some, you know, I mean, he can do that. Because he that's the way he sees it. So it's just been awesome being able to see the faithfulness of God throughout this journey.
It really has, you know? And how he's, you know, and
it's been amazing.
And even just, you know, last month was when God really showed us that, hey, actually when you arrived was when you were put in the ark. And that just was just amazing, because it was like at that point, you know, realizing, wow, that's what you were doing this whole time. Like we, you know, because when we first got here, there's just, you know, it's like, I think what's so great about God is that when you continue to follow him, he starts revealing things to you, and you gain understanding of what you went through and why you went through it. But when he reveals things, it's always like this perfect timing where, one, it really is a great encouragement and blessing.
Right.
You know, had God said at the beginning of the year,
you're just at the beginning of the ark.
You actually just went into the ark and you're going to be
that
here.
That would have crushed us.
It would have just been it would have
crushed us
so much, and we wouldn't have.
We probably wouldn't have been so on the edge to go after. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, or
we would have probably just sat down in our hearts and been like, "Wow."
Yeah. So what do you want us to do for? You know, it's
a year and 10 days.
You just
like,
think
seriously?
differently. You'd probably be thinking, oh, okay, well, let's find a place for the next year. And God he had so many other beautiful things to do with us, and you know, we just really kind of talked about that tonight. You know, there have been the hard things that we've gone through, but then through it all, it's like we know that God has been
interviewing
faithful.
The kids.
Yeah, we were interviewing the kids,
fun.
and it's like to see just the growth, just spiritually, the maturing that's taken place in our kids, and even just in our lives, and where we've come, and how far we've come through just God and his tenderness towards us. I think if anything I've really seen this year is just really those tender hands that we've been carried in.
Yeah.
You know, the mercy and loving kindness of God, and really, I think for me personally, gaining an understanding of what it truly means to have God walk with you. You know, it's like and what relationships really, really look like. And that's you walk through both the good things and the really, really difficult things. And God is so faithful to us. He's like, I am with you when you're stuck in the mud. I'm with you when, you know, you're hiking up the mountain. I'm with you when you're sitting on the beach relaxing. I'm with you all the time. Yeah. And it's just been so amazing to see that, especially this year, because it has been difficult. There's been a lot of challenges. But then at the same time, it's like we've seen just the beauty of God and how he walks us through things, and how he continues to just go in after our hearts and keep us going.
Yeah.
And it's just been amazing. And I think even like for me personally, just really seeing how really seeing that the discipline of the Lord is really his love and his kindness and his goodness, and just really coming to, you know, as much as it hurts, it's like, oh, this is actually really good, and God is good, and he's faithful.
Yeah, I mean, really overall, we've gotten to see what God does when you don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what's going on, you could have literally $53 in the bank. You have to move out of the hotel the next day or the Airbnb or whatever. And it's like, all right, God, but you're pursuing the Lord. Like, Lord, what are you saying? Are we crazy? Did we make a crazy leap? We messed up, didn't we? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or all of that could be happening literally on the same night.
Yeah.
No money, need a place to stay, and you're questioning your sanity in the Lord.
Yeah.
And then one word from the Lord changes your heart. The next day, you find like someone has been like extremely generous to you, and there's an opening somewhere, and it's just like all those things that you thought were going to be disasters, they're boom, with one word, one move from God on a person's heart or our heart, whatever, all the divine economy that he's got going on. It's like, wow, I didn't need to be afraid. He's like, yeah, I kind of told you that before you moved here. But you didn't know that. You didn't get it. You didn't believe it. You weren't strong in it. Yeah. That's fine. This that has happened, this hardcore difficulty, and now you've come through the other side, has made you stronger. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be like 57 more of those. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm just saying, like, there's be more times of the... Did I seriously just say 57 more at 10:57?
Yeah, you did. That's kind of funny. And so, yeah, just kind of how, like, on this journey, like, God has had us in these, he had us in, like, the 7-week cycles and all of that. 7
cycles of 7 weeks.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm sending you through these things over and over and over again so that you can really learn it and really grow and really change. And
get stronger.
And get, a lot stronger. And it's just been... that for us ended on the 26th of November. And really since then, I mean, things have changed as far as just what God's been speaking to us.
Oh my. Yeah.
And we've gone through basically the last, I think it's been 3 weeks now, mm-hmm. and of just kind of like, okay, we're here. And, but kind of like, what is going on, Lord? Like, what are you doing in all of this? And it's different than what we thought you were going to do. But what is going on? And I feel like today God really, he gave us some just clarity and revelation of what mm-hmm. he's been doing. Yeah. And it comes from, we were seeing the number 88, and you can kind of talk about just like seeing that and maybe kind of what...
Well, for a long time, not a long time, I'm talking like a couple days, I kept seeing the word fourth. It was almost like God was putting the numbers thing on hold and all that, and I was just like, okay. And so it's 11:01. Bookmark that.
Yes.
I just happened to notice it. Anyway, and so he just kept, every time I would read the word, it was fourth. I mean, see a commercial, it was like, blah, 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 fourth. And it's just like, wow, that word is just coming out at me like crazy. Like, all right, cool, and then, God gave me revelation on what he was saying there. You're going to go forth from the ark. It's a prophetic word over your life. That's what I'm declaring over your life and all that. Like, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And then but then it was like, and then what happened? I said, man, the numbers thing is just on hold for now. And out of nowhere, we just started getting a deluge of prophetic numbers that we haven't gotten in a year.
Yeah.
Numbers that we haven't seen, and it's just like, man, Lord, where's all these? It kind of reminded me of the sandwich numbers phenomenon that we had. I was just like, oh my gosh, what are you trying to say here? Which I know we still haven't made a video on, but it was like all these numbers. It was almost like every teacher from kindergarten through college just came by and said, hey, how you doing? Remember me? Remember what you learned in this class? Mm-hmm. Remember? All right, I just want to let you know. I just want to remind you. All right, bye-bye. Have a good one. Yeah. And then another one would come. Hey, man, what's up? You remember what you learned in this class? Just want to make sure you remember. Yeah. That's what it felt like,
it
right?
It really did.
Every single number.
So many numbers that it was just, that were, have been a part of this entire journey. It was
even
very
before
much,
Nashville.
It was like a parade of numbers.
It was. There you go.
Like you were saying, where it's just like one after another of like, oh, remember this? Remember this? Oh, yeah. hey, what did you learn about this?
Yeah, because
you're going to need this.
Because it wasn't like God was saying, it wasn't like a, man, what is God saying? He was like, he made it very clear right away. It was like, no, it's not that kind of thing. Yeah. It's not a, what am I saying through it? It's what have I said? Yeah. What did I tell you? What did you learn from it? Yeah. I want you to bring all this stuff up. I want you to remember all of this stuff, right? And I was like, okay, cool. And it has just been amazing. I know we haven't made, this is the 18th. We haven't made a video since the 14th. Yeah. But of December. But it's just been like that for days. Yeah. But in the midst of that, I keep seeing 88. And I'm just like, oh, 88. Okay, I keep seeing it. I had to see it a lot. Yeah. For God to kind of say, hey, I'm playing with you, man. I'm showing you another number. Yeah. Because it just, from September, from the moment we started this whole numbers thing, 8 has not been a part of our journey. Really That's why our prophetic number stopped at number 7. Because we just haven't, we stopped kind of there. Waiting, like, all right, yeah. You know. But it's this, we literally had nothing to say. We had triple eights once. Mm-hmm. One time, and that was when we felt like we had to stay at the cheapest place all the time, and God was like, I'm transitioning. We were getting 777s, 888s, and 999s at that time, and that's a whole nother journey. We already made video on it, but that was the only time we'd ever seen it. But I'm just like, I am seeing them everywhere. Yeah. And I'm just like, okay, this is not a reminder thing. I'm like, Lord, what are you saying? And it was like, oh yes, come on, let's go, you know. And it's just like, and so I looked up a video. I started doing research on 8, and I want to pull up some specific stuff here, because at first I looked at a video, and one of the crazy things that I first noticed in this video about 88, it showed a piano. And it said there's 88 keys in a piano, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. But eventually I got the revelation. It's like, because we were also seeing 66s like crazy. Yesterday we kept seeing double numbers like crazy. And God was like, remember, double. You don't need to go through all these numbers. I just want you to remember, it's double. You're going to receive double. And it's like, that's what God is like, fattening our hearts. Mm-hmm. He's getting us ready for what he's getting ready to do. It's like, just remember, it's double. Yeah. You know? And so 88 was just it was a double number to me. But it was like, no, it's like, and so it was like the totality. Like when I see 66, I think of all the Lord showed me, it means all the books of the Bible, the totality of the revelation of God's heart. That's what he's speaking. He wants his whole heart to be in you. You know, and he wants you to know him wholly, completely, totally. Yeah. You know, so I'm seeing this 88, and it's like, oh, this is awesome. 8. And I was like, well, how many, you know what, I just want to know, how many octaves are there in a piano, in an 88 key piano? Don't you know there are 7 octaves in an 88 key piano? And I'm just like, okay, now if you wanted to go up to the 8th octave, you'd have to switch over. You'd have to have a side-by-side piano, and you'd have to switch over to the next piano and start playing that. And I was like, you know what? That's what God's saying right now. We had a piano called a cave. Mm-hmm. This piano is called an ark. Our next piano is our garden. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then this blew my mind. My son, he would laugh if he heard me say that. But anyway, because I kept seeing the 888s as well. And I was just like, oh man, like what's going on here? And so as I'm studying this video, it talked about 88s and 888s. And it said the word, now listen guys, of all the words in human communication, the word fourth, yes, F-O-R-T-H, is in the Bible 888 times.
Yeah, and that's the King James version.
I was like, what in the world? Like, this is crazy. 888 times.
And the word fourth itself actually has, like, the numerical value of 88 in Hebrew.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. And so, and then Psalm 88, verse 8, ends with the word fourth. And that is like, when I saw that, I was like, that's what God wanted me to see. Mm-hmm. It's like, there is a manifestation plus the piano thing as well. And I was like, a piano? Come on, man. I went Lee Strobel before Christ on that one. And I was just like, dude, no. The piano, God's not trying to show me nothing about no piano. I was wrong again. I was very, very wrong. But because it's like, God was saying, not only you are going to go forth into a brand new thing. And it's funny that he used a musical instrument to talk about that, because that's something we just haven't done.
Yeah.
Music and writing and all that, that's a huge part of us that's just not active right now.
Yeah.
You know? God was like, you are going to go forth, and because it's the triple eights, it's like a manifestation of my presence is going to be on you going forth out of the ark into a new thing, into a new set of octaves, into a new set. And then so I'm just like, okay, well, Lord, this is amazing. I'm really, 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 really loving it, right? But, you know, there was that whole 7 cycles of 7. And I'm like, what's up with that? You know, because I was thinking, because we really felt like you were telling us it was like Naaman's 7 dips in the Jordan. After that 7th one, he popped up and he was clean. Yeah. It's like, we're not necessarily cleansed of our financial leprosy. We're not cleansed of that yet. We popped up and we're just kind of lingering in the pond here, waiting for, okay? And so, and we started to study the number 8 by itself, and we found in GraceandTorah.net this one thing under the number 8. It talks about the last great 8th day of Sukkot asks one to linger, add to overflowing one more day. And I knew right away, I was like, wow, that is what God is. I mean, it was like a curtain being pulled back.
Like one more day with the Lord.
With the Lord, yes. And it was like God's asking you one more day. Let's do one more. Let's do an 8th cycle. You know what I mean? Let's do like one more. Let's just hang out. And that's literally what it's been. It has not been like the chiseling and the hammering and the shaping and all that. God's like, I'm not doing that. No. I'm not weaving the tapestry anymore. I'm just pulling the things together. And that's why we kept seeing all the numbers that God has used on our journey, because he's like, that's what I'm doing. I'm just weaving it all together. I'm done with the tapestry. Now I'm just weaving all the strands together. And then after that, I'm just going to flip it, bro. I'm going to flip it. Yeah. But while we're here, linger with me. I'm done with the finished work, but linger with me as I tie these things together. Yeah. You know? And I know that can come across as like oh great, one more thing until the promise is fulfilled, which means it's never going to be fulfilled. That's the devil. Yeah. That's just the devil. Because the truth of the matter is, it has been that. Yeah. Our lives right now, I would say over the past 3 weeks, have been like a John 13, chapters 13 through 17. Where Jesus was just in an intimate time with his disciples, telling him those last final things before he went to be crucified. Yeah. You know? Because John 17 was that was the actual Lord's Prayer, where Jesus was actually praying, and then they went out to the Garden of Gethsemane, and we know what happened there. Yeah. You know, that's really what our lives has been like these since that 7 cycles of 7 weeks ended. Yeah. You know? And it's... Go ahead.
Yeah, well, we were just talking about today, too. It's, thinking about it, it's like, if you were to go on a date with somebody and you've had just this great time, and it's like, okay, well, it's supposed to end, but you're just like, okay, let's just chat for a few more minutes. You need to go. Yeah. It's like, all right, I do need to go, but man, I just want to hang out with you. Just you
need to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning because you got to go to work, but well, it's already 1 o'clock already. I might as well.
What's another an hour?
And then 2 hours later,
it's it's just that lingering, and I really
something
feel like
great has begun when you can have that kind of conversation on a date. Know you've got a connection.
Yeah, it's like, I think with the Lord, he has been loving everything that he's been doing. Yeah, and he's just like, can we just linger a little bit longer? Because I just really love you, and I just want to have this time with you, and just let's just chat. Let's just keep going here, and just keep keep burning that fire.
Yeah, of that quiet, close intimacy. Because it's like us when we got married. That's where we were at, and then when it was time to fly to Reno to do, there were just things that we were going to get married. There was things that had to be done. You had to cut your hair. You had to go size your dress. There was all these things. It's very cool. We're prepping for the greatest celebration of our life. The inauguration of a life together. This is all great and good. And we're being swept up in this whirlwind of things. And then we get married, and then we have a honeymoon. Holla. And then we, you know what I'm saying? And there's all these things that are going on that's different than when we were dating.
Yeah.
It's just different. And then we come back to our home, and now we're getting our home set up. And then after that, then you enter into another time of just, because the Lord told me that. He was like, I want you to linger right now, because you're the bow on the string. Once I release you, you're gonna fly.
Yeah.
And those banquet doors are gonna blow open, and you're gonna be carried in the whirlwind. Remember?
Yeah.
That's gonna just be like, whoa. So that means there's gonna be just stuff happening, stuff popping, stuff going on, and it's not gonna be this just hanging out all day chilling.
Well,
Lord, what's going on?
And it's also very much,
not that it's gonna be bad or apart from Him,
but it's also very much like when you're getting ready to have a baby,
mm-hmm.
and like. The baby could come any day, but you just kind of savor those moments before the baby's born, especially when it's your first, and it's just, okay, after this, life is totally different. It's never just going to be the two of us again. And, and so I've heard people talk about going on like a baby moon, where it's like a honeymoon before the baby's born, I guess. I don't know. But, it's just
I've never heard of that, a baby moon. I'm like, what are you talking about? A baby moon.
No, you just go and do something that you probably won't be able to do once you have a baby for a really long time.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of, though, there's that just lingering together, just taking it all in. Because once your baby's born, it's very different.
Life change. Boom.
Life changes, your schedule changes, and it does take
the
this.
The honeymoon is over, at least for a couple of months. No, I'm not editing this part out.
But it's just life changes, and there is a transition before you get to the new normal of life that you're going to be doing, and all of that. And so it's just... And
you're kind of entering into the celebration of the new normal by birthing something or getting married or that big, huge, just event, And that's what we're looking... we know that God's going to do that. There's going to be just a great big event.
Yeah.
Something He's going to do that's going to we're going to get in our house and we're going to start this new life. And
but it's also like, God's just like, hey, just be here with me right now. I am saying I want to linger with you. I want to sit with you. Are you willing to sit with me? Can you just enjoy this? And actually that was something I prayed, we were praying about, I think Saturday night, of just like, I just really felt this prayer of, let us just really enjoy the time that we have left. That it's just that, really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And just be excited about what God's doing.
And we've been attacked on that front too. Very much. Like, you want to enjoy it?
Yeah.
I'm going to get up in there, the devil says.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just try to mess it up.
Yeah.
Just do what I can to mess it up.
No.
And then, of course, the Lord's like, hey, you've been trained for this.
Yeah.
You know how this works.
Mm-hmm.
You just keep praising. You just keep listening. You keep obeying. Keep agreeing with the truth. And you're going to come out of this one even better off.
Yeah.
Stronger. Better. Yeah. So we had to change things up. The scripture says, strengthen up the feeble knees. I'm still working on that. But something else that was really cool about the number 8 that the Lord wanted me to see is that after the completed work of cleansing and preparing I was going to say the Pharisees, cleansing the priests, the 8th day, God manifests His presence.
Yeah. And
God was like, see, I'm giving you 28 different reasons to show you where you're at. 20 different things, signs and wonders and all this confirmations to show you that this is now comes the long-awaited promise. It is now in this lingering time, in this 8th cycle, which, we're not going to get into all the details of that, but in this time of lingering after the 7 cycles of 7 weeks. In this time, that's when I'm going to manifest my presence.
Yeah.
I'm going to manifest my presence. It's like God fulfilled a prophetic word that he gave me by bringing us here to Nashville about scooping us up and all that. I was like, well, that's great and good in the spirit, but the truth of the matter is you need money to do what God wants you to do.
Yeah.
You know, and sure enough, literally the day before we needed it, it was like, boom, there it is.
Yeah.
Here we go. And it's just like, so again, another episode where God manifested his presence after the work was done. So I just feel like that's what's going to happen again. You know, he's going to manifest his presence. And that's why another reason the 8 was given.
Yeah.
Now, another thing that was significant about the number 8 that we studied is there's a word, the number 8, there's like the ordinal or cardinal numbers or something like that, or
like if you were to actually write out 8, the word that they would use in Hebrew
means to fatten.
Yeah.
You know, to fatten. And you had been getting the 1101. That's why I was like, wow, there's 1101 right there. And you'd been getting the 1101 quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
And before we were getting the 1101 in conjunction with the 1107, and it was telling us that God, it was referencing Genesis. Mm-hmm. And it talked about
the confusion of the languages, and so it was very pivotal to just breaking away from the
relationships that we had at that time. Yeah, and so it made sense. But we looked up the 1101 in the Hebrew.
Yeah. Again,
in the Strong's Concordance, and we were just getting, because that's what happens when God is doing the numbers thing. It's like a diamond facet. Mm-hmm. He comes at it from a different angle. So I studied the whole word. And I'm just like, wow, look at this. This word, and the thing that stuck out to me is to make wet. Yeah. And I was like, dang, that is what God is doing.
Yeah.
To pour out, and it was like to make wet or fatten with oil.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is literally what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
And that oil represents the Spirit of God,
mm-hmm.
meaning the presence of God, the manifest presence of God, right? And I'm going to make this kind of shorter than I want to, but we read, there was a lot of different scriptures that God gave us to make one particular point. So we're going to make the one particular point. And if you read Isaiah 59:19, Zechariah 4:6, the story about the 4 lepers.
Yes, in 2 Kings, I think 7, 8-ish, somewhere around there.
And then there's the 2 Chronicles 20, where the 3 armies came against King Jehoshaphat. And he was like, oh, what do I do? And then there's 2 Kings 19, 29 through 31 that God just gave me a prophetic word about like 10 days ago or something like that. And Isaiah 35, all of those talk about one thing. And it's about the Spirit of God showing up and performing something that man couldn't.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it just says. And in Zechariah, one of the things I did want to point out in Zechariah chapter 4, if you read that whole thing, in this vision that Zechariah saw, he saw the 7 candlesticks, but then there was I think it was like a piece of furniture of the temple that's got 7 lamps on it, 7 candlesticks basically on it. But then there's this bowl that's added to the top, and that was where you get the not by might, not by power, but by my Spirit, says the Lord, because he's saying it's going to be by my Spirit. But on each of the 7 candlesticks, there were 7 pipes on each of the candlesticks.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, did you see that?
Yeah.
There's 7 sticks with 7 pipes on them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's 49. I was like, that's literally what we just went through.
Yeah.
7 cycles of 7 weeks. And I was like, look at that. The entire time, we have never seen that until today. I'm just like, wow. The Lord is just, he is way more precise than we can possibly know or even give him credit for.
Yeah.
He just is. I mean, it's just amazing how smart he is. You know what I'm saying?
He is super smart.
You cracking up at me.
Yeah.
And all of our visions, all of the visions that we have, Jesus on the mountain stepping out and going, hey guys, what's up? And he's got the 2, we carry away these 10 commandments, which is basically the law, which is saying, you know, go forth and prosper. Now that you've got what you need, go forth and prosper.
Yeah.
Go forth and do what you need to do. And do what I want you to do. Do what I've called you to do. So many of the visions that we've got all have one thing in common. It is the Lord himself doing a thing, and he comes in to perform.
Yeah.
You know, and it's in 2 Kings 19:31 it says, and the zeal of the Lord of hosts shall perform this.
Yeah.
He's going to do things for his name's sake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it truly is. I mean, we had all these scriptures, but again, just kind of like, there wasn't just a parade of numbers. There, for me too, there was just reminded of Elisha. And so I started reading through 2 Kings about all of the different miracles that he performed. And I kind of had forgotten. But as we're reading through it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like God was using this. It was actually at the time we were reading through 2 Kings last year. And so many of the miracles that he performed, God was using to speak prophetically into our lives. Yeah. And I was just like, wait, there's this one and this one and this one. And it was just like...
Yeah, the jars of oil, the trenches of water.
You know, the Shunammite woman, she gets recompense.
That's the certain officer.
Yeah, and but just the fact that she receives recompense for and receives back her land and all that she should have had
from a famine that lasted 7 years.
Yeah, and it was just like, wow, Lord.
So in that 8th year, she started anew.
Yeah,
there's so much.
Yeah. And it was just like, wow, he's bringing to remembrance all these things.
Yeah.
And so it's just been a really neat time with God over these last few days.
And then the remembrance of all these things is fattening us up.
Yeah.
It's getting us wet with the revelation of like, wow, look at how great you are that I can't even write enough songs to praise you about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't sing enough or thank you enough about everything that God has been doing and how he has been revealing himself and leading us and carrying us this whole time.
Yeah.
Do not be afraid to step out in faith, guys.
Yeah.
We were terrified.
Yes.
You know, when we first jumped,
when
we first came here, we were really terrified, and we were really seeking safety. But the problem is we were seeking safety in a house and cars and money. And it's like, and naturally you do need those things.
Yeah.
But it's like, we just don't do that anymore.
Mm-mm.
We just don't. Our safety and our security and our peace and our joy and our everything is in God alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and God knows. See, that's what even Jesus said that. Jesus said, seek first the kingdom of God. Your heavenly Father knows you need all these things.
Yeah. All
these things that you need on earth. He knows that. It's like, and he's a loving Father. Oh, you of little faith? You don't really realize that or understand that or know that. That's why you're out there seeking to figure out how you can get it for yourself and maintain it and hold on to it. Yeah. It's like, because you don't know the Father's heart for you.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you know the Father's heart for you, you're going to know him, you're going to trust him, you're going to let go of all these fears and anxieties you have, and that's what I'm here to do. Hi, my name's Jesus. Let me cleanse you of your leprosy.
Yeah.
Let me free you of that demon. You know, let me, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to show you in physical form what the Father's heart is like, so that you can leave your old life behind and come into the kingdom that lasts forever. You want that eternal security? You want all those things that you're seeking are temporary here on earth, but they are eternal in my Father. Come to my Father, come to me, and I will give it to you freely. Yeah. Isaiah 55:1. It's like, come for the self-surrender that accepts the blessing. That's what it says in the Amplified Bible. Just come and drink and eat without money. Just go ahead. I'm just going to give it to you. You know, Luke 12:32, right? Says, don't fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. It's like, you don't need to be afraid. And it's like, so I'm just saying, if you know, maybe there's people out there right now and you let your dream go. You've let your faith journey go. You gave up a long time ago and you're back to just kind of doing it your own thing to do it the best you can to protect yourself and keep yourself. So you just don't need to do that. I mean, now listen, we're saying this from a position of faith ourselves. We're not in our house. We're still in the hotel. We don't have the financial blessing that we believe God has promised us. We still are trusting in Uber to get us to Costco. We're still on the PayPal journey. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All of that. But it's like, those are just mechanisms that God has used to do a great work in our lives this past year. And he is faithful. I'm going to say it again, man. We have faith because he is faithful. Our faith is greater because he is faithful. Yes, faith comes by hearing the word. But faith doesn't come by reading the word. I mean, you can read the word and get faith, but it's when that word jumps off the page and grabs you and you're hearing something. Something stirring in your spirit, something, I'm feeling stirred. I must turn aside from my life and go see this or listen to this or hear what God loves me. I don't know about that. You know what I mean? The living God begins to work in your living heart to connect with him. And then you go on that journey. You take that step. I'm going to trust you. All right, or for some people, trusting God just is a matter of, all right, I'm going to start praying out loud. I better hear something back, or I better see something. That's their first little step of faith, you know? And then, 23 years later, they're raising people from the dead. They got a big ministry or whatever. You know what I mean? We all start somewhere. Yeah. But it's like God is faithful to those who just don't give up, to that band of survivors, to that remnant who's coming out of the mountain of God. It's just, he is faithful to do everything he's promised. If you need to read Isaiah 55 again, go right ahead, because it's all true. Yeah. And it's like, he's just faithful, Yeah, there's some weird stuff, like, billboard prophecies. You see a billboard, it's like, well, I think that's a prophetic word from the Lord. You get license plates and prophetic numbers, and then you get the excess of all of it too. Where some of it's just, okay, that's not the Lord. That's just something you think is the Lord. It's all a part of the journey. Yeah. It's all a part of the adventure. There's difficulty, but then there's also glory. But then at the end of it, there's a great reward. And it's really not the house and cars and money. It is a deeper relationship with the Lord. See, because that's what he's after. Yeah. He's after that deeper relationship. And you get that first. And it's just, you're satisfied. Because God's not going to share his satisfaction with a thing, a created thing. No. He's like, no, I want you to be completely and utterly satisfied with me. Are you? It's like, yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah. It's like, all right, cool. Well, then I want to give you some stuff. You know what I mean? I want to help you out. I'm gonna just Psalm 18 your whole life. I'm gonna set you in a large place. I'm gonna lead you out of the prison into the, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's like he does that because he's pleased with you. And so it's like, don't be afraid. Just step out there. Walk in humility and wisdom and all that. But just, man, I just really feel like this is what the Lord's saying. Then just do it. Yeah. Yeah,
and I think too, it's like, stepping out in faith, if anything I've learned on this journey, stepping out in faith doesn't mean like, because I had my ideas of what it would look like, and it has definitely been so different.
You thought it was going to be just a walk across the street. All right, I'm going to walk across the street. Yeah. All right, here we go. Faith, where's my promise? Yeah. Where is it?
It's not just, faith isn't safe in the sense of, you are safe with the Father, with God, but there's risk involved. There is the dying to yourself and what you think is going
going
or you want to have happen.
That's
because
we
really,
go ahead.
We really, we took a jump last year, but I feel like it was the greater jump was the year before. Yeah. And that was...
the year before?
Yeah, for me personally.
Oh, sure.
That was a greater
December
jump.
2016?
Yeah, just 2016.
When you quit your job?
When God was like, hey, I want you to be, let's finish. Let's take that leap and jump. And And at that time, it was just, okay, Lord, I was expecting, okay, well, if we've taken the jump, then, Lord, that means you're going to do all of these things. And it did not happen that way.
You told them what you wanted. You're like, well, we need to be making about $3,000 a month. And how's that going to happen? There need to be some major book sales, or something, because that's what needs to happen in order for me to. And God's like, oh, so you really don't want your life to be any different at all.
Yeah. But the truth is, it's like, there are times in your life when God really has to strip away basically everything.
Jesus.
And it is painful.
Mm-hmm.
But then he starts to build you back up. And really even moving to Nashville, I also feel like God was just made it very clear. He's like, you're not supposed to be in Kansas City. I think if he had made it a little more comfortable when we were for that year, because trust me, it was not comfortable.
Yeah.
It was far from it. I mean, we had many a times where there was literally no food in any cupboard, and we had like 2 pieces of chicken. And I was pregnant at the time.
And some rice.
And we had some, and I had, I think, a couple of dates. And that was it. And it was just
she ain't talking about going somewhere with me. She's talking about dates.
Yeah. Like
fruits.
The fruit. and it was like, well, I guess, okay, how are we going to, figure out what we're going to eat? It's like.
And it was funny because during those times, that's when we were listening to God Had Us in Patricia King's class, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
We were listening to her a lot.
Yeah.
And she was talking about how when she first started in ministry, she had empty cupboards.
Yeah.
And she had no milk, and
mm-hmm.
God told her to prophesy to the cupboards.
Yeah.
And I was like, that right there would probably freak half the church out.
Yeah.
Prophesy to your cupboards. What are you talking about? That's not biblical. It's like, and so she did, and then, I don't know, by the end of the day, like her cupboards were filled with food or something like that. And I was just like, wow.
So,
okay, I guess you got to have empty cupboards in order to do that,
But I mean, it was these moments, and it was just like, Lord, what are we supposed to do? We weren't the YouTube thing. God hadn't had that part of our time yet. And it was just
you mean
like
the PayPal part?
The PayPal part.
Yeah, that didn't come till way later.
I mean, you were already doing YouTube, but it was just like, wow, this is so difficult, and there was so much that went in that. I was just like, this can't be the Lord. Like, if He really wanted it, He would be providing. Like, what are we doing? But I think for me, it was just like that stripping away needed to happen. There was something. There was this great growth and just like having to let go of how I think things should be or mm-hmm. shouldn't be, and so and then God, He started to just move in a different direction. He's like, you can't rely on yourself or all these things, and then there did come a point where God said, it was at the end of September of 2017, He was like, okay, you will hunger no more. Mm-hmm. And it was both spiritual, but it was actual physical. From that moment on, at the end of September, food-wise, I mean,
that literally came true.
Our cupboards were never totally bare. We had food.
Yeah.
But then that was also the time when God was like, okay, your cupboards are going to be full, but those bills,
right?
Yeah, and so it was just a very interesting time.
Because God wanted that thing to die.
He wanted it to die, and I think if it had been comfortable, it might have been like, I don't know, I don't think we can do that. We're safe here. Let's stay here.
Basically,
and
he pushed us to the cliff. He's like, "You ready?"
Stirred up that
Boom.
nest. Yeah, he stirred up that nest to the point where it's like, okay, you're gonna have to leave.
Yep.
And either you're gonna jump and go where I want you to go, or and really at that point it was just like, we're going. And I'm telling you, since we've been here, it's like, yes, we've had these moments where we're just like, oh my gosh, Lord, we are on the edge. What are we doing? But God comes through, and it's just like He continues to bless, and He continues to give, and
continues to amaze,
and just truly, I mean, just I'm in awe. Like, there has never been a point on this whole journey where we haven't had a place to stay. and we haven't had food. And it was just like, wow, God, you are just so amazing. So I just say all of that because I do believe that there are people out there who might just be starting on kind of what God is doing in their life. Maybe he's asked them to, quit jobs, or he's asked you to do something that is just different from what you normally do. It's like that separating, being pulled in a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
And
basically in a new, different direction. Yeah.
And it's like, whatever God is asking you to do, just go ahead and take that leap. And just, I think, come at it with just this idea of like, I am lay aside your ideas of what you think might happen and just allow God to unfold things.
Because it's going to be, you're not going to be disappointed.
You're not.
That's just not going to happen.
But God just, he works differently.
Yeah.
Because why does God work differently? Well, because he's always looking at our hearts. He's always saying, I want to produce the greatest relationship I can have with you, which comes through just that opening up of the heart and getting out the things that don't need to be there. And so it's just really just looking on this journey. It's just been truly amazing. And it's like one of those times where you're like, it was difficult, but so good.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, I don't, it's like,
it's like the Biggest Loser house.
Yeah, it's like,
man, I'm glad we're at the end.
Yeah.
But by then, all the stuff that made it hard is no longer hard because you've been trained by it.
Yes.
So,
yeah. So it's just...
had a little issue today.
Yeah.
That was just like, no way, I'm not going to let this in. This is how we deal with this. Moved right on.
Yeah.
When maybe a year ago, it would not even been possible.
Yeah.
It would have maybe crippled me.
Yeah.
I would have been like, oh, no, I don't know. And that's how God's just so tender. He is tender in his mercy.
Yeah.
He is. He's just so great.
Yeah.
He's the best person ever. There's just no way to compare anything to him.
Yeah, so just, I don't know, just all of that to say, I just pray that you guys are encouraged, that you're encouraged to continue to step out in faith and continue to just press into him. And I just, we really feel for us, it's like God just like, hey, just linger with me. Because that's what he wants. He's like, I want relationship with you. I am enjoying this time. Yeah. And I just want to be with you guys. And because he's like, I know he knows what's ahead.
Yeah.
So he's already saying, I know what's ahead. And it's all good and it's awesome and wonderful, but let's just take this moment. Let's just take this time that we have where it's just us and that
let's go on our baby moon.
Yeah, exactly.
I never heard that until this video, until tonight.
Yeah.
December 18th. Like, what the heck is a baby moon? Like, I guess that's what we're doing.
Yeah. But it's
I
like,
did not even know.
Let's just linger here before all the celebration begins. Let's have that quiet, tender moment, even before the wedding ceremony, before all of this, and just be in awe of everything that we've gone through together. And I don't know, that's
because you
really,
can't see, because the Lord gave me that word, Devin, enjoy this time.
Yeah.
This was, how long ago was that?
At the beginning of our journey, he was starting to say that. Yeah, 2017.
And he's like, enjoy this time because it's never going to be like this again. And
well, he said that in 2016.
Wow, that is crazy. Like, what are you talking about? And the more we walked with him and the more our journey that he had for us unfolded, it was like, wow, okay. And so basically, it's almost like God's like, enjoy this time because you're never going to be single again.
Yeah.
Once you're married, it's different. It's actually better. It's good, but there's something special about meeting the person, staying up all night when you shouldn't be, talking just hours upon hours, and and it's just like, it's just different, particularly after being married for 10 years. Hey, that's in 2 days. Holla. We'll be married for 10 years. It's just different. Shoot, she could watch a TV show for 4 hours. I'd be up here playing chess, putting together a Lego. We don't say anything to each other. And it's like, but when you're dating, you're building that intimacy foundation so that you can do stuff like that, and it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
You know, because you're just there for it, but it's just different, you know? And so it's like that. It's like, God's like, it's going to be very different. Yeah. And it's like, I'm like, but Lord, I don't think I want that then. If it's like, no, I'm not saying I'm not going to be there. Obviously, I'm going to be there. We're going to be doing this together. It's just going to be different.
Yeah.
There's a flavor. It's almost like when you have that special flavor at the ice cream shop and they're going to discontinue it because they're not making it anymore. Mm-hmm. It's like, man, savor it now.
Yeah.
Get 2 scoops. You know, and just come back the next day and get 2 more scoops because it's going to be discontinued and they're not going to have it anymore. That's all. It's like it's still going to be an ice cream shop. You're still going to love it, and it's going to be replaced with an even better flavor. But that flavor is just not going to be there anymore. Yeah, it's a great flavor. You know what I'm saying?
And it's just like, you know, I think for us, it's like I loved our dating time and all of that. But it's like with marriage, I'm just like, I just love it all the more.
It is like 15,000 times better than being single. Because of the honeymoon. Holla. No, I'm just kidding. You're like, don't put that on the video. I'm going to be so embarrassed.
Yeah, so we just really want just pray that you guys are encouraged and just enjoy the time, enjoy the place that God has you in, you know, and just linger there and just be with Him, because that's the truth. It's like no matter where we go, no matter what we're looking forward to, what we're looking forward to the most is just being with the Lord. And it's like every day we have that. Yeah. Every day we have the opportunity for it to be just the most amazing day because God is with us and He's there speaking to us and with us through everything that we go through. And so so that's just kind of, honestly, didn't realize we were going to share what we shared tonight when we got on.
We just kind of got on and we were like, let's just share, let's just do what we do.
I just love what came out and just that, you know, I just pray that our journey has really encouraged you guys and so I think that's all we have for you. For those of you who have made it this far.
That's enough.
I'll give you a gold star.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. We gave him a stew of things.
We did.
A little potluck.
So again, guys, we just so love and appreciate all of you. Yeah. Thank you for the comments. We do get to read them. And whenever we get the chance and the opportunity.
It's different. We are definitely in the new normal with the YouTube channel. Yeah. Because for a long time, I think during that whole 7 cycle of 7 weeks, we were probably putting stuff out every day. Yeah. Almost every day.
And now God just kind of has it.
Ever since that ended, it's just been very different.
Yeah.
It's just been very different. I mean, going like 3-4 days without doing a video, this is like unheard of.
Yeah.
But it's God's like, nope, just listen to me and follow me.
Yeah.
This is not a day off or an extra day off. It's not that. It's the new normal. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm cool with it. I'm good.
Yeah. So, until next time, guys, we will see you later.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.